His Excellency Dr. Ahmad Al Banna, Ambassador of UAE to India, His Excellency Ambassador Ron Malka, Ambassador of Israel to India, Professor Manish Dhabade, Founder, The Indian Futures, Professor Ashwini Mahapatra, Dean, School of International Studies, JNU, members of the Millennial India International Chamber of Commerce, distinguished guests, friends, good morning to you all. I am very happy to join you in this conference, focusing on India's relations with West Asia in recent years. This is a topic of great contemporary relevance as we keep seeing various important developments in this region which impact geopolitics. In recent months also, there have been several such developments, including normalization of relations between various countries in the West Asia region. For India, West Asia assumes natural strategic salience by sheer virtue of its location in our immediate western neighborhood. The region is also of paramount significance to us as a growing nation to meet our energy security needs, as also for the large number of Indians living in the region and trade and investment linkages between India and the countries of the West Asia. India's connect with West Asia is rooted deep in history. Linkages that have transcended borders across many centuries to include key elements of trade, cultural contacts, and people-to-people exchanges. Today, the region hosts substantial Indian diaspora who act as the living bridge between West Asia and India. Notwithstanding our bilateral engagement with the region in more recent decades were arguably limited in scope and intensity. They lacked the requisite depth which is necessary for a mutually beneficial and sustained relationship. Fresh momentum was injected into India's foreign policy approach towards West Asia when Prime Minister Modi remarked at the Make in India conference in New Delhi on 26 September 2014, when he said, I quote, "For a long time, Look East policy is under discussion. I would like to talk about Link West," unquote. Our government, under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi and his vision of an extended neighborhood, has helped strengthen India's ties with the region. It can be seen, for example, from the fact that Prime Minister Modi's visit to UAE in 2015 was the first visit of an Indian Prime Minister to the country in 34 years. Our strategic partnership with countries of the region has gained unprecedented momentum since 2014. This includes the countries of the GCC as well as our other friends. High-level political visits, unprecedented diplomatic outreach, our cooperation with countries of the region, all this demonstrate our policy priority for this region. Prime Minister has visited almost each of the countries of the Gulf. He has visited Gulf countries 8 times since 2014, and we have also hosted highest leadership from these countries in India. Prime Minister has also visited Israel and Palestine. Even during the COVID-19 pandemic, this intensive engagement has continued with Prime Minister himself talking to the leaders of the region on a regular basis. Our Prime Minister has created a special bond of respect and trust with the leaderships in the region. This has been duly recognized by various countries. The conferment of the highest civilian awards by UAE, Saudi Arabia and Bahrain on Prime Minister Modi is a testimony of the way he has contributed to taking India's bilateral relations with these countries to newer heights. We can say that a new robust foundation to elevate our relationships in the region has been created, where India can be a factor of stability in the region in consonance with our national interests. As External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said in his speech at the Raisina Dialogue, the region already abounds in Indian footprints, has potential of energy connectivity and can act as a bridge for the countries beyond. Our growing capabilities and stronger national branding makes India a credible partner of the countries in the region. We have continued to work in this direction, and it can also be seen from our visits to the region in recent months. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar visited Bahrain and UAE in November 2020 and to Qatar in December. I visited Oman in December 2020 and am in UAE today recording this message for your event. As our relations with the countries of West Asia have gained newer heights under Prime Minister Modi, several strategic aspects have got added to our relationship with different countries. Our bilateral cooperation on defense and security has also strengthened. There is also good cooperation on important issues like counter-terrorism and maritime security. Joint defense exercises have been held with some countries. Indian Army Chief General Narawane recently paid a visit to UAE and Saudi Arabia in December 2020. Trade and investment has been one of the most important features of India's relations with West Asia. This area has seen special focus in recent years, with several countries of the Gulf looking at investments into India in a win-win proposition for both sides. Sovereign wealth funds from UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar and Kuwait are all committed to making substantial investments in India. This includes Abu Dhabi Investment Authority and Mubadala from UAE, PIF from Saudi Arabia and QIA and KIA. This change has been brought about by their new confidence in India, brought about by a series of reforms in various sectors by our government, which is reflected in the rise in India's ease of doing business rankings. As we bring in more reforms, I am sure India will continue to attract further FDI from the Gulf. Our trade relations is also going to continue to be strong. Our energy relationship has also moved from a mere transactional buyer-seller relationship to a more comprehensive partnership with various countries. UAE became the first country to participate in India's strategic petroleum reserves in 2018. It has also given concession to Indian companies in one of its oil fields. Similarly, our energy relationship has also progressed with Saudi Arabia, Qatar and other countries. Iraq and Kuwait remain large and reliable sources of oil for India. Some of the contemporary and futuristic areas of mutual cooperation include information technology, cooperation in outer space, agriculture and artificial intelligence. We have a lot more to achieve together. In light of India's economic ambitions and development trajectory, coupled with the economic diversification drive in the Gulf states in particular, we would continue to work with these countries on issues of health security and food security, which have acquired great importance today. When we talk of West Asia, we have to naturally acknowledge the great contribution of our diaspora in these countries, both for India as well as for the development of these countries. Our government has taken special care for the Indian diaspora, especially our workers, such as through eMigrate, Madad and Rishta portals, as well as expanding the scope of ICWF. India is working with GCC countries on issues like skill harmonization to prepare a better future for our workers. The needs of the Indian community in these countries are also being better understood and met. For example, UAE has allotted land for a Hindu temple in Abu Dhabi. UAE and Oman have also for the first time allowed visa on arrival for some categories of Indian visitors. The Indian community has appreciated all the efforts of our government for their welfare, including during COVID-19. Prime Minister Modi has instilled a new confidence and pride in them. During COVID-19, we have brought back lakhs of Indians through Vande Bharat mission. The community was looked after well by the host countries, which is a reflection of our relations with these countries and their appreciation of the contribution of our people. Our air bubble arrangements with most GCC countries have also allowed our workers and professionals to go back and resume work. India's help in ensuring that supply chains of essentials like food and medicine from India to the Gulf countries during our lockdown has been highly appreciated. Overall, I would like to reiterate that India's relations with West Asia have assumed new dynamism and content under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi. In addition, the Abraham Accords and the latest Al-Ula agreement between the GCC countries has produced a new realignment pattern and therefore a new congenial strategic setting in the region for India. We have welcomed the rapprochement and reconciliation among countries in West Asia, and we are hopeful that this would bring more peace and progress in the region. We also remain committed to the Palestinian cause and hope for early resumption of direct negotiations for an acceptable two-state solution. Let me end by saying that I am delighted to be part of the discussions here today. I believe platforms such as these provide for the perfect amalgamation of the best ideas from academia and the rich experiences of diplomats from the region. I wish the editors, all the authors and others associated with the project in one way or the other all the very best. Let us together add a new and significant dimension to India's relations with the West Asian region, one that is characterized by robust mutual cooperation and that thrives towards a shared future of security, prosperity and stability. Namaskar to all of you and Jai Hind.